Hello, my name is Brandon Salgado.
My name is Thuan Tran, and today we're going to talk about the phylum Kinorhyncha.
First of all, I am going to talk about the general observations about these animals. Kinorhyncha are also known as mud dragons. Why? Because they live in the ocean floor. They belong to the superphylum Ecdysozoa and the clade Scelidophora. The name of these animals, Kinorhyncha, comes from the Greek kinos and rhyncho, which means moving snout. These animals are less than 1 millimeter, but some species can go up to 1 millimeter, but there's no more than 1 millimeter length in these animals. So there's around 200 species, and as you can see, this phylum is not a very diverse group. They are mostly marine animals because they live in the ocean floor, and they present chitin exoskeleton, which they mold as they go through their life stages.
And we're going to talk about the anatomy part of Kinorhyncha. Just like any other animal in the superphylum Ecdysozoa, they have bilateral symmetry, triple plastic pseudocoelomate too. And the Kinorhyncha consists of three regions: a head, a short neck, and a trunk. So the head right here consists of a mouth, the mouth cone that crowned with 9 oral styles, and an introvert. This is an introvert with numerous of appendages called spinal skeleton. These are the spinal skeleton. So the spinal skeleton, they have two patterns, bilateral or pentaradical symmetry. So the next region is their neck. Their neck consists of many plates called placid, as you can see right here. When the head retracted, these placid act as a closing gate. So the next part, also the last part of the Kinorhyncha, is their trunk. The trunk consists of 11 segments. This is not to be mistaken with their body. Their entire body consists of total 13 segments. So the Kinorhyncha has complete gut, so it has an anus at the bottom part over here. All of the trunk consists of 11 segments that's made up of dorsal or a pair of ventral plate with a pair of ventral plate. So Kinorhyncha is a part of the subphylum Ecdysozoa. So they have those chitinous cuticle that's shed during their adult life to grow. Underneath the cuticle is non-ciliate epidermis containing element of nervous system that help them with sensing. Next, we're gonna move to how Kinorhyncha move. Because of that chitinous cuticle exoskeleton, Kinorhyncha body shape is pretty much fixed, but they're very flexible. They can flex, twist, or even burrow. But there's a fun fact to Kinorhyncha is that even though they're a mostly marine creature habiting the seafloor, they cannot swim. So do you remember the skeleton on the neck? Those are for sensing and locomotion also. Kinorhyncha use them as an anchor to move and burrow. So we can also see here on the diagram on your right that Kinorhyncha is highly flexible. They have longitudinal, circular, diagonal, muscular. These are the diagonal muscular, and the dorsolateral and lateral spine are their longitudinal muscular, but the circular muscular only appear on their mouth cone, but not their body wall. Next, we're gonna talk about reproduction and development. This is the most mysterious part of Kinorhyncha. Mating, egg laying, and early stage development has never been observed or adequately studied in Kinorhyncha, but we do know for sure that Kinorhyncha are gonochoristic, meaning that each individual possess only one male or female reproductive organ. They have very simple reproductive system. Male have 2 or 3 hollow, often rigid spicules associated with their gonopores, and female have both nutritive cells and germ cells in their gonal. Their egg hatch into juveniles with 9 segments, and it will turn into adult morphology after 6 months. Molting still occur during adult stage, but there are no specific information about that.
Now, I am going to talk about the alimentation of these animals. So, as I told, they live in the ocean floor, so they're direct deposit feeders. So they eat whatever they find in the bottom floor. They like to eat unicellular algae called diatoms. So I'm going to show a picture of these diatoms. So you can see they have nice shapes. There are specific details about the methods of alimentation are currently unavailable because there's not a lot of research about these animals. They use their retractable head to gather food. So as you can see in this picture, they have their scallops here and they move it in an upward movement like an umbrella, and they pull it in and they repeat this movement in order to gather their food in various steps. So food goes from the mouth to the muscular pharynx, and then from the pharynx to the esophagus, connects to the midgut, and where the digestive processes occur, and then the food goes through the anus in form of waste.
So we're gonna talk about the fossil record of Kinorhyncha. Scientists believe that Kinorhyncha holds the secret to origin of body segmentation in invertebrate, but they could not find any evidence due to lack of well-preserved fossil. There was the case until 2013 when a specimen of microscopic worm dated back to more than 530 million years ago was discovered in China. So the fossil on your right is said to belong to Kinorhynchus rarus, or rare Asian mud dragon. The newly discovered animal dates back from the Cambrian period. Based on what we can see in the STEM and microcity image of Rarus on your left, that it is divided into three parts. This is the head region, the neck region with the trunk region. This is somewhat different from our knowledge of Kinorhyncha, that it has a defining feature of 13-segment body. However, through research, it is believed to be related to modern Kinorhynch with many similarities, namely hollow spine arranged in five-fold symmetry, body segment each consisting of articulate cleft, suggesting a close evolutionary relationship.
So now I'm going to talk about the different classes in the phylum of Kinorhynchs. So there's the first one, that's class Cyclorhagida. So the Cyclorhagida have 14 to 16 plackets. Okay, they have a spiny trunk, so they have a lot of spines around their body. They also their cross sections are circular, oval, or triangular. The triangular being the most rare in this class. So the common genera are centrodeers, echinodeers, meristodeers, and semnodeers, which is, this one is centrodeers, this one here is echinodeers, this one here is meristodeers, and this one is semnodeers. The next class I'm going to talk about is the Allomalorhagida. So these are the largest ones. They can go up to 1 millimeter large, and they have 6 to 8 plackets, which have less than the previous group. And then the trunk has also fewer spines, so you will find less spines across the body trunk of this animal. So they have triangular form and cross section. All of the class Allomalorhagida have a triangular cross section. The common genera are Kinorhynchus, Neocentrophyes, Paracentrophyes, Pycnophyes, and Daracoderes. So now we're going to come up with the questions. The first one is, how many segments are there in Kinorhynch? The second one, how many times a juvenile Kinorhynch need to molt to have an adult morphology? So the answers to these questions are, there are 13 segments in Kinorhynchs, and these animals molt 6 times. So these are the references.
This is the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye.